We could have easily lost this, to be honest. I think we just got lucky. We got away with a draw. The way Aston Villa were actually getting onto us after the first 10 minutes of domination, the possession based trickery that we were offering from the right, we were looking so lucrative in those sequences with Salah and Harvey Elliott making those runs on the right and making Luca Digne's life a living hell. But what really happened after that? I mean, this has been the theme of Liverpool's season. Even if we have an opportunity to dictate the play in a certain way, we don't have the consistency or the longevity to keep going, to keep at it, to keep troubling the defense. No. Yeah, we looked really creative for sure. Gakpo looked really good in this game, to be honest. I was really happy that, okay, those quick touches and that positional presence up front, he was adding on to it. But Gakpo is not an elite finisher. He did get a goal, but we lack that number nine that we need. Before Onslaught actually comes into the club, we need to find a solution. If you're sticking to Darwin Nunez, let's just stick to him. And this is where people also go wrong about Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz is an elite dribbler. He shows this in each and every game. Even in this game, he showed a lot of trickery. He showed a lot of that passing ability. He showed that he can link up well with Gakpo. In fact, the second goal that was scored for Liverpool, Luis Diaz passed the ball to Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez found Gakpo in that trench, in that 6-yard region, and he just tapped it in, right? So Luis Diaz, Salah, all four players were have to be attributed to the way they actually built up to that goal. It was amazing the way that we actually came up with so many creative sequences. I'm not taking the shine away from us, but at the same time, we have so many loopholes in our system. Defensive loopholes, highline problems, athleticism, positional problems, spatial awareness. There are numerous problems that we are piling up and we are not able to deal with it. Jurgen Klopp is on his way out and he knows it. And he is trying his level best to give it his entirety. And you can clearly see that he is on a decline, right? Now, arguably, we had a couple of good chances in the first half too. That sequence where Luis Diaz was right in front of Martinez, I don't think we were offside. The ref did call that one off, but it wasn't offside. VAR would have made the right decision. It could have overturned. What was Luis Diaz doing in that moment? He tried finding Gakpo, and Gakpo couldn't do anything. The reason why I'm sitting here is to make you guys see what really went down on the pitch. So, in the first frame, you can see that Oli Watkins is getting past Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa slows him down on that right flank. He slows him down to that extent that Liverpool's defenders and midfielders are able to garner enough energy to get into the box, right? We are in a good position here. What happens is Kwanzaa is not able to track him down. He is not able to defend his space in front of him. So Oli Watkins gets past him. Liverpool, the elite defensive unit that we are, we didn't realize that there's a Yuri Tielemans who will be arriving soon at the box, right outside the box, and he scored a banger of a goal. He scored a banger of a goal, and there was no one to shadow him. There was no one to body him. There was no one from Liverpool to actually block that goal. Honestly, look at the defenders right here, right? We are standing in the right spaces, to be honest. But Oli Watkins is an elite level thinker, high IQ player. Why would he pass it down to players who are already occupied by the defenders? Why would he want to do that? He would obviously want to find someone who is lurking around the box or who's about to arrive. So my question is, where was Gakpo? Where was Diaz? Where was Harvey Elliott? I think Harvey Elliott is caught over there. No, he's not. Where were they? And arguably, the goal could have been disallowed. I don't think this was a situation where McGinn, Endo, and Van Dijk were coming together. It wasn't that situation. Obviously, the goal should have never been ruled or disallowed in that situation. But if you think I'm wrong here, please call me out in the comments below. Right. This was another sequence which was, again, horrific defending on our behalf. Joe Gomez, again, put in a grave shift. He was so good up and down the flank. He was really good. Again, I wouldn't prefer playing him because he's right-footed and he's not naturally inclined to be delivering those crosses, which is what we were missing today. I think Robertson would have done really well in this fit. Anyhow, Joe Gomez is in this situation, and I think it's Musa Diaby with him. Imagine you're standing with Musa Diaby to contest an aerial duel, right? Joe Gomez is definitely taller than him, right? And now, Joe Gomez has the ball at his feet. He literally loses the ball in this frame. He loses it. And the gap between Joe Gomez and the attacker is massive. What happens? Bailey plays the ball. Luis Diaz on the left is actually being covered. And he's actually trying to shadow the Aston Villa defender. He's trying to do that. Yet, he loses the ball again. He loses the ball again. And I think that's Douglas Luiz. If I'm not wrong, Douglas Luiz wins that ball, passes it down to Leon Bailey, who literally squares the ball. Obviously, I think he could have actually put it past Alisson, but he decided to square the ball. And as you can see in this frame, Liverpool's defensive line has been wiped out. Van Dijk, Kwanzaa, Trent, forget about Trent. You see a Watkins, you see a Diego Carlos. Again, Diego Carlos, I don't know how did he miss this. Should have put any part of his body to the ball, but he couldn't do it. Another frame. Trent loses the ball, gives it back to John McGinn. McGinn, the player that he is going to make the most out of this turnover. And Endo, obviously, he's been taken out because Endo was positioned a bit ahead of John McGinn, thinking that Trent will be clever enough to make that short pass, a 10-yard pass to him, but Trent failed to do that. John McGinn gets on the ball. You see the distance between Van Dijk and Joe Gomez. Forget about Kwanzaa. He's acting as a right back because Trent can't do that job. Look at the gap between Joe Gomez and Van Dijk. It's so easy for Musa Diaby to make a good scintillating run, and John McGinn, with a beautiful through pass, found him in that sequence. He found him, but Musa Diaby, he skies the ball. He's done it twice or thrice in this game. Again, Musa Diaby wasn't that good in front of the goal, but Aston Villa, they're attackers. They're elite attackers, elite runners with a really high IQ. Leon Bailey, Musa Diaby, Oli Watkins. Fuck, what a ferocious trio. This is something which I really envy. Unai Emery has the right set of players. He came to the club with a clear mindset to get the right acquisitions in the squad, and he brought these wonderful players, man. John McGinn, Douglas Luiz. Look at Yuri Tielemans now. He used to struggle so much at Leicester. And now at Aston Villa, Unai Emery has just taken the best out of him, using him, optimizing him to the best of his levels. Another howler. Another fumble. Our goalkeeper, Alisson, right here. You can clearly see that Oli Watkins is going to press onto him. You have a Kwanzaa on the right who is waiting to get the ball from Alisson. You have an Endo who's being marked by Douglas Luiz. You have a Musa Diaby and a Van Dijk in that situation on the left. Now, what do you think should Alisson do in this situation? He should either find Joe Gomez on the far left, or he should pass the ball to Kwanzaa on the right. What does Alisson do? Alisson tries playing the ball straight to Endo, right in the situation, not realizing that Endo is going to feel the pressure. But again, we had a passage of play there. We had Endo who could have passed the ball to Kwanzaa. What happened instead? Alisson tries passing, it deflects off Oli Watkins. And we were caught in the situation where Alisson is totally taken out. And thanks to Trent, for once, he made a good recovery run and won the ball from Oli Watkins, which saved our grace. We could have conceded so many easy goals in the first half. In the second half, it's not a joke. And to be honest, I think Liverpool's attacking rhythm looked quite flat in the first half. After the first 10-20 minutes, I think we looked quite flat. In the second half, we looked good with the possession. We had that level of creativity oozing in. We had that level of depth in our build-ups, which looked really good. We had the switches of play being induced by Salah. But Salah does a lot of off-the-ball work. He does really well. On-the-ball work too, outside the box, it's really good. But again, he has literally regressed in that elite finishing quality of his. We are not seeing that from Salah anymore, and it's been a long time, which raises many eyebrows for sure. And then you had a Mr. John Duran, Mr. John Duran, Mr. John Duran. People have been raising fingers at McAllister. Oh, McAllister can't play in a number 6 position. He cannot embody what Endo does for us. That's a complete BS of a line. That's utter bullshit. I don't agree with that. I think McAllister can be used as a number 6 too, just because he took a bad touch. Just because he took a bad touch. We lost the ball, right? Bailey won the ball, passed it on to John Duran, and he scored a wonderful goal with the left foot. Wonderful goal by John Duran. That's a goal which will be remembered for ages. Down memory lane, people will be reminiscing this moment where Liverpool were 3-1 up. John Duran out of nowhere scores a screamer of a goal. Amazing. Right, in this sequence, this is another problem with our team. Midfield. Curtis Jones, Soboslai, Gravenberg, right? All these players, elite players. Elite. Yeah, in this situation, you can clearly see that our midfield was quite wide open. I don't know why were we not willing to mark John McGinn. Why weren't we willing to mark Musa Diaby, who was coming quite deep? Why would you expect a McAllister who's on the left? Why would you expect him to come and narrow him down? Do you want our defense to be open once again? No. You would expect a Gravenberg or maybe a Curtis Jones, maybe overloading on the right, trying to defend our pride. No, they wouldn't do that. Instead, this is what happens next. Diaby gets the ball, drops his shoulder, gets past McAllister and makes an amazing run. And this was a little slightly unlucky, I feel. Diaby tried finding John Duran. The pace on the ball was too much. It ricocheted off Duran's thigh. It went past Allison and they equalized and the game was over right there. The game was over. Liverpool came up with a chance after that. Darwin Nunez was on the ball on the right. He tried squaring the ball, couldn't find Mohamed Salah. Curtis Jones again caught the deflection, retrieved the ball outside the box with a shot which was poorly attempted. They could have scored 5-6 goals in total, right? Even we could have scored more goals, but their chances had a better XG attached to it. It had more level of conviction attached to it. Aston Villa, a team of elite runners, high IQ attackers, and a very mature midfield. We need to remember that.